Have you ever done one of those typing tests where you have to race your friends in typing out a random quote? And then at the end of it, you could see your speed in words per minute and your accuracy. Well, today we're going to be breaking some records in that race and trying out some unconventional methods of typing faster. This is a CTF challenge, so we have to find a solution to a problem. In this case, the game is type out the exact words as seen in gray without any mistakes. You gotta do it within 30 seconds, and just as a bonus, there are blank letters that you have to fill in according to the correct spelling of the word. Now this just might seem like a hard challenge, but in reality, it's simply impossible to do with just these guys. I don't want to toot my own horn, but you know, I've been glued to the computer since like age 11, so naturally, my typing speed is not bad, being slightly above average at 50 to 60 words per minute. In this challenge, however, I couldn't even get past the second line. And most words were long, but they were manageable. And then there were words like this. Psycho-neuro-endocrinological. Like, what do you mean? Anyway, something that a middle-class worker doesn't want to hear, it's time for automation. My first thought was to use an OCR, that is, optical character recognition, which just basically turns an image with text on it into actual text that we can copy and manipulate. OCR looks at the image pixel by pixel, finds shapes that resemble letters, and guesses what they are. The problem is, OCR has some issues with fonts, spacing, and anti-aliasing. This is primarily because this technology is machine learning, so the learning part implies that you are giving the model a certain font to practice on. And once the model gets good at identifying letters accurately, when you give it a different font, it can start doing weird things. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. I built a script that lets me select a region of the screen by clicking on the top left and then the bottom right. It screenshots that area, runs OCR using Tesseract, which is just a free Dutch library that does what I talked about. It then clicks on the text area and tries to type out what it analyzed. Now, I didn't even tell it to fill in the blanks, because I just want to know if the Tesseract tool will be accurate with the font, and turns out it isn't. The first couple of words usually turn out fine, but sometimes it adds a space where there shouldn't be one. If there are two underscores side by side, it reads it as one symbol, and sometimes, occasionally, it reads the letter L as a 1. In summary, my script typed with the elegance of a toddler on a sugar high. Clearly, this would not yield many results. Even though it is faster, it is not as accurate as I need it to be. And even though I could train my own OCR model, this would take a little more time than I'd like. The next method came from a simple observation that I made whilst bashing my head trying to figure out the answer. The pool of words that the website uses is limited and is often repeated with each attempt. The order is randomized, as well as the blank spaces within the words. But if I just spent some time establishing a list of words that are known good words, and then compare with the randomized blank words, I should be able to put the known good words in the right order and tell the script to type that into the game. But wait, you just said that the image recognition thing doesn't work. So how are you going to copy the text from the website if it doesn't let you select the text? As you can see here, I'm trying my hardest to select the text, but it has a non-editable attribute. And it turns out that if we go to Burp Suite and look at the exact code which the website sends to us, it includes the text with all of the underscores. So let's just copy it from there. We copy our text that we have to fill, compare every word with one that we already have saved to replace the underscores with the correct letters, and automatically type it all. Just send it all. Now, maybe it was just a consequence of vibe coding, but I couldn't quite figure out how to match the correct words with the incomplete ones. I'm sure if you did some lead coding in the past, you could figure it out. Personally, however, I decided to just use ChatGPT to fill in the blanks, and then automate everything else. Was it out of desperation? Perhaps. So, in order, copy the unfinished text, tell ChatGPT to do my homework, copy that into a script, which then automatically clicks on the text area and virtually types everything by itself. Wow, 1,700 words per minute with 100% accuracy, as you would expect. I tried this a couple of more times because, well, it's fun seeing the green letters go brr, and ended up increasing the speed to 1,959 words per minute, which I'm quite happy with. In fact, if I did type at this speed, it would only take me 45 minutes to type out The Great Gatsby, and around 8 hours to type a million words. Interestingly enough, the fastest human typer in the world was Barbara Blackburn, who hit 212 words per minute on your everyday keyboard, and my script beats that by tenfold. So everything is perfect. Accuracy bar is green, speed is off the charts, but the game still says verification failed. Maybe I typed too fast, maybe the website crashed from the insane amounts of input. It's still a win in my books. Script automation is one of my favorite things to do. There's something incredibly satisfying about watching a program you wrote do something faster, more precisely, and more consistently than any human could. It's like your own personal assistant, who does anything and everything. Do you need to make an appointment to a hospital, but the time reservations are full for the next 8 months? Just make the bot check for available slots every 5 minutes, 24 hours a day. In fact, I've done this multiple times, and you would be surprised how fast you can get an opening when it seems that everything is booked out for months. Now, what I'm about to tell you is purely informational, and you did not hear it from me. But if you're not an American citizen and are trying to get an American visa, when you start booking your appointment for an interview, you'll find that the next available slot is in 2 years. And there are legit services that you can pay and get an available slot in the next few weeks. I never participated in such services, but I know for a fact they exist. And they make really good bank. I'm talking several thousand for just one available slot. I suppose where there is a demand, there will always be someone willing to profit off of it. In any case, if you don't already know it, go learn some script automation. Python is not the fastest, but it's a great introduction to programming scripts. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.